Not even 24 hours had passed since the release of Threads, an Instagram app, before Elon Musk publicly debased himself once again by showing how much the successful rollout of a rival app has affected him, and also further cementing the fact that he has absolutely zero confidence in his own product, can't figure out why people hate him, and is rapidly losing vast amounts of money and support since being forced to buy Twitter.com for $44 billion.
Mark Zuckerberg hasn't felt like this since he screwed over those weird crypto twins 20 years ago.
Yeah. It's honestly fascinating to watch. A guy who knows that he's completely screwed, so completely lacking in riz that he can't even stay silent and act like he doesn't care. In fact, he's done the exact opposite and is apparently threatening to file a doomed-to-fail lawsuit against Meta for copying his platform.
Weird that, like, fucking 10 other platforms came along that look exactly like Twitter, and I sleep. And then Mark Zuckerberg does it, and people actually use it, and I must now sue.
Yeah, very, very rapidly went from, yeah, look, they're trying to make another platform too. I will fucking sue you.
Yeah.
It is so apparent that he doesn't believe in the company that he's running and doesn't believe in his own skills to save it.
It bears repeating that he never wanted to buy Twitter in the first place.
He was forced to.
He was memeing, and shit got way too real. He tried to back out.
Yeah.
They forced him to buy it. He did not want any part of this because deep down he probably knew that it was not going to go well.
No, but he had to look like a real cool, tough guy billionaire in front of all of his Musk stans, who may or may not have even been real. And now he took a big L.
So let's start by reading directly from the letter that was sent to Mark Zuckerberg Thursday morning from Elon Musk's legal team. Based on recent reports regarding your recently launched Threads app, Twitter has serious concerns that Meta Platforms has engaged in systematic, willful, and unlawful misappropriation of Twitter's trade secrets and other intellectual property. So, okay, putting aside the fact that the newsfeed style content delivery system has been developed, redeveloped, and copied dozens of times at this point by a wide variety of competing apps, and the fact that Facebook has had a newsfeed since just after its initial launch, 2004, coming up on 20 years now.
Yeah.
The claim here is that Meta poached employees from Twitter and used their secret insider knowledge of the Twitter platform to build and launch a competitor. They wouldn't have been able to do this without top secret inside knowledge.
Nobody's done it before, and it's very clear that...
It's got a very complicated website here, as you can see. No one knows how it works.
Now, we probably don't even have to remind you that Elon Musk fired a majority of Twitter's staff, has stiffed them on compensation, publicly mocked them, and operates his company in California where non-compete laws are not enforceable anyway. So basically, Elon fired the people who made Twitter work and is claiming that Meta hired them to develop a similar product. That's the basis for his potential legal filing, which doesn't seem very sound.
Also, I'm not a lawyer, but my understanding is that with intellectual property specifically, unless Twitter had routinely sent out legal cease and desist notices to every single Twitter clone over the years, you can't just decide to start enforcing IP when it becomes inconvenient for you. And this is a big reason why so many rights holders are so aggressive, is because legally, if you stop trying to enforce your legal rights, you kind of create a precedent.
Also, going down the line, you could theoretically say that Facebook kind of started. I mean, it goes back probably further than that. I'm assuming like MySpace and Friendster had some form of this, but I believe it was 2005 or something like that. Facebook was like, here's a news feed. You can update and put updates on it, and it scrolls. And that's what Twitter is. So you could make the argument that in some ways, Twitter copied them. I don't know. Either way, the letter continues. Over the past year, Meta has hired dozens of former Twitter employees. Twitter knows that these employees previously worked at Twitter, that these employees had and continue to have access to Twitter's trade secrets and other highly confidential information, that these employees owe ongoing obligations to Twitter, and that many of these employees have improperly retained Twitter documents and electronic devices. With that knowledge, Meta deliberately assigned these employees to develop, in a matter of months, Meta's copycat Threads app with the specific intent that they use Twitter's trade secrets and other intellectual property in order to accelerate the development of Meta's competing app, in violation of both state and federal laws as well as those employees' ongoing obligations to Twitter.
Oh, those employees that you still haven't paid severance, who are literally suing you to get what they're owed?
Yeah.
Those bastards.
They owe you obligations?
Interesting. So yeah, a lot to unpack here. We would wager that a bunch of these former employees were probably hung out to dry by Twitter, were fired unceremoniously, are in some form of legal purgatory due to the fact that Twitter has not communicated with them or their lawyers, and they're maybe using that to say they're still under obligation to the company.
Yeah.
In fact, he publicly mocked them and any company who would potentially hire them, tweeting way back in November, "I'd like to apologize for firing these geniuses. Their immense talent will no doubt be of great use elsewhere."
Wow.
Reads a little different now, doesn't it? All of that aside, though, it's really rich that Elon's legal team is trying to claim that Meta has done anything more than release a bare bones product that simply allows people to make text and media posts to a timeline. This is Instagram without the pictures. It's really not that complicated. There's not much to it. Even the buttons.
What have they, yeah, it's not original, but none of this is. And it goes back to the fact that the parent company had a news feed for 2 decades almost.
So yeah, the only reason for Threads' immediate success is obviously the integration with Meta's pre-existing social platform, Instagram, and the fact that followers instantly were able to migrate between those apps. In addition to this stupid legal letter, Musk has been he's been liking some tweets.
Yeah.
In between the borderline Nazi tweets that he routinely likes, he's been liking some tweets that are critical of Threads and coming up with his own little bangers and zingers, like competition is fine, cheating is not. See you in the Delaware Court of Chancery, Mark.
Woo! So just to reiterate here, both of these guys suck, and we are still witnessing the death of what the internet used to be. But the fact that Elon is very upset about this, especially after wasting billions upon billions of dollars to do nothing but ruin his already tarnished legacy, it's still kind of fun to watch. Having said that, there are numerous problems with the Threads app already. And while we understand that it's obviously a work in progress, one of the biggest issues that's been pointed out is the fact that once you sign up for Threads, you can't delete your account without also deleting your Instagram account because the two are directly linked.
They got you.
Definitely feels like that should have been something that they presented more directly up front, but it also seems like the immediate backlash to this decision is already causing them to figure out how to reverse that policy sometime in the future, with head of Instagram Adam Mosseri posting, "To clarify, you can deactivate your Threads account, which hides your Threads profile and content. You can set your profile to private, and you can delete individual Threads posts, all without deleting your Instagram account. Threads is powered by Instagram, so right now it's just one account. But we are looking into a way to delete your Threads account separately."
All right.
So, whatever. Yeah, I mean, you can make it private. If you've been active on Instagram for any amount of time, they already got you.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a difference, I guess. Still, having one company own all of this information, not great. Having 2 companies own all this information, not great.
And it's neither a lot of information.
Neither of these guys comes out clean.
Yeah, the stuff, I mean, it's Meta.
They can't even open it up to people in the EU because
it violates GDPR. Apple now has that very nice, very concise list of privacy, basically all of your privacy rights that you're giving up by downloading an app. And the one for Threads is holy shit. If you have a fucking smartwatch, they're tracking your heartbeat basically.
Yeah, to their credit, at least Apple gives you the option for them to, at least reduces the ability for them to fully track you, which is nice. But it's no one's winning in this.
But
And,
still though.
The desire to post is too strong.
Mark. No, both these guys suck so hard for a plethora of reasons. Although interestingly, they suck in different ways.
Weird different ways. Yeah.
Elon mostly sucks because he's just so clearly, pathetically, longing for approval and acceptance. In just a real embarrassing way. Whereas Mark Zuckerberg has been disliked for so long.
Yeah.
And he seems like to have accepted that.
Also,
he's not trying to be a cool guy.
He started Facebook under nefarious reasons.
Yeah, he's always been a little shit.
Yeah, and it has continued to be used and exploited for nefarious reasons for its entire existence.
Yeah.
And also he's made terrible decisions. He has we've already gone into it before, but he's destabilized entire regions.
He's very bad.
He's poisoned the brains of boomers.
He moved fast and he broke things.
And some of those things were brains.
But yeah, choose your fighter. It really sucks that we've gotten to the point where the only functioning social media apps belong to shitty companies.
And pretty much 2 or 3 shitty companies overall. That's it.
Google Plus really missed a great opportunity to be yet another shitty company still in the game. They blew it. They just stuck around.
The Bob Army said no. We do not.
They didn't even close Google Plus down till like 2019. Like they hung in there a long time, and all they had to do was hang in there just a little while longer. Yeah. I bet they could flick a few switches and get that thing back and running
again. Even if they did right now, they'd be like, "Hey, we're back," and everyone would go, "No, thanks."
Fuck it. One more social media app.
Google sucks so bad now anyway with the search and the Gmail and everything just is terrible now. So they've squandered whatever goodwill. But there is a spike connection because Elon Musk allegedly banged the CEO of Google's wife or something.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So they all hate each other. Let them fight.
Let them fight. Yeah, it is funny that Mark Zuckerberg, doing the bare minimum, just the easiest idea imaginable.
Yeah.
A slam dunk. Has, by doing that, shown Elon Musk just how much people absolutely despise him.
Yeah.
Also, the past 24 to 48 hours has also shown just how terrible your average netizen is at posting. Because, goddamn, there have been no shortage of just god-awful, outdated posts happening on Threads since its launch. People that migrated to Instagram in 2015 and haven't looked back until now.
They haven't had to text post.
They've lost the ability. They are posting from a bygone era.
Yeah, it's like that phenomenon where it's like athletes and musicians and actors and stuff. They get trapped in a perpetual youth because they've never grown past when their fame started.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. The posts that I'm seeing are stuck permanently in 2015.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is strange.
We're bringing back Follow Friday, Man Crush Monday,
Woman
Crush Wednesday.
I'm starting Catterday.
Let's go. Although they don't have hashtags on Threads, so.
They said that's another thing that's coming soon. They're working on it.
No, don't even bother. No one even uses that shit anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, Twitter was great because of all the normal people who were weeded out through cyberbullying or complete lack of interaction.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Go to Instagram. And Instagram's an app where people can just sort of post images without having to come up with anything original to say. Now, they have an app and a following where they have to post and are completely failing at that task.
Yeah. Let's see if my 500,000 Instagram followers can translate into posting success. Nope, it absolutely does not.
It's a completely different metric.
People are showing their
online
ass.
Success. So it won't be long before all the normies probably give up on trying to be funny on Threads. And once they're gone or simply re-threading other people's stuff, that will be the real test as to whether or not this thing has staying power.
There they are. The QR codes are back, Elliot.
I don't even know how to find this fucking QR code.
You didn't watch the video? They're on the screen right now.
Okay. Well, there you go. I've posted 2 or 3 times, and everything I've posted has been about just how I don't like having this many apps on my phone.
Yeah. Anyways, we're all going to hell anyway. Might as well do it with more followers on the Devil's app. We desire more clout than the fashion influencers who have a built-in following from Instagram, and you have the power to make our ugly asses more popular than them. Elliot's got a lot more to say than some random fashionista.
I really don't, though. I'm running, like, I don't know. This whole thing, it sucks. It's really sad. It's taking something I loved, and it's kind of ruined it.
Yeah.
I have to switch between 3 separate apps to get the same effect I used to get from one app. It's devalued everything. It's balkanized the posting, and honestly, still, I was trying, like, I spent time thinking about this today, of like, what does Twitter have that these other apps don't? And Twitter has a specific type of like online dirtbag weirdo that I really like reading the posts of. Mentally ill, fucking like leftist weirdos on the spectrum. That type of person, they're not well represented on Blue Sky or on Threads.
Yeah.
And they make the best posts. And you got to go to Twitter for that kind of shit now.
Also, it is starting, but all of the completely brain-dead, dumb, extremely conservative weirdos and crypto bros and stuff haven't jumped completely on to Threads yet because they're trying to be supportive of Elon and everything and his free speech platform, obviously. But you're not going to get those real fun interactions between both sides of the brain-broken Twitter sphere.
I don't like those interactions. Blue Sky, it's at least people there have they've formed a wall.
Yeah.
Any like shithead from Twitter that makes it over gets relentlessly cyberbullied and mass blocked, and to the point where they just give up.
Yeah, that is currently the best example I've seen of that currently on Threads is Tommy Loren is...
get the fuck out of here, Tammy.
Yeah. And I think Don Jr. Posted too, and everyone's like, what are you doing here? Shut up and go away. Also, side note, Don Jr. Canceled his speaking tour in Australia, and he claimed it was because the Australian government didn't approve his visa. And then literally a representative of the Australian government jumped on and was like, hey, we approved, I have it, we approved your visa. You canceled because of low ticket sales. Stop being a baby.
Damn.
Yeah.
Took me visa.
While we're giving updates, though, here's the most obvious news update of the entire year so far. OceanGate has suspended all exploration and commercial operations.
What? They're not going to try again?
Well, I wonder why that is. I mean, it's so strange that a very cool, very innovative company like this would suddenly announce that they're ceasing operations. I wonder what could have possibly happened. Did they move too fast?
They did. Well, I don't know if they moved too fast or too slow, but they ain't moving anymore.
No. Let's check out the corresponding article to this big announcement to find out what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Here's CNN. OceanGate, the owner of the Titan submersible that imploded during a voyage to the Titanic, killing all 5 people on board.
Oh, that's what happened.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Says it has suspended its exploration and commercial operations, according to its website. The company's CEO, Stockton Rush, was among those who perished in the disaster in the North Atlantic Ocean last month.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good reason, too.
Here's a quote from him from heaven.
He's not...
OceanGate has suspended all...
That man is not in heaven.
Now, this is not him quoting it. It's a company official, but, why not read it in his voice? Here's what Stockton Rush said from heaven.
The devil really appreciated how far down he was when he died, because they're like, boop, there you go. You're coming with me.
I don't think you understand. All tech industry executives go straight to heaven.
I disagree.
OceanGate has suspended all exploration and commercial operations, the top of the company's official website said Thursday, but the site still features highlight reels of equipment and expeditions, as well as descriptions of expedition offerings, such as touring the Titanic wreckage.
You had to be there.
This thing is just going to be internet archived immediately.
They should have done what music festivals, after they've had a good run of festivals, but they have to stop because demand is too low, and just
not
post
sustainable.
that image post, guys, it's been a great couple years. We got to see a lot of cool things together, and it was so great building this community with you guys, but it is with a heavy heart that we have to tell you that OceanGate is ceasing operations immediately. Don't be sad about what you missed. Be happy
that it happened. Yep, that's right. Well, sad to see him go. Could have been any reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll find out someday.
Yeah.
But Stockton Rush, I hear he's moving his show to Twitter.
Stockton Rush reporting live from someplace deeper than the wreckage of the Titanic.
Why does the video just show this puddle of goo?
Yeah.
Well, that's Stockton Rush.
Yeah, that's crazy old Stockton Rush for you. Why is everything burning around him?
Anyway, since we missed the story because of the holidays this week, we should probably very briefly mention the fact that the entire White House was put on lockdown over the weekend because of a white powder that was found close to the West Wing. And you're probably all aware by now, but that white powder was in fact cocaine, as Queens of the Stone Age would say, which means that in a few years we're going to get some incredible story about a celebrity musician doing cocaine on the roof of the White House.
Yeah.
With
Step aside Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
There's a new, I don't know who does cocaine in the music industry anymore, but let's just say it's one of the guys from Kiss got up there somehow.
I had a teacher in college, a professor, a seminar guy. He was a big music manager all through the 70s, and he got a lot of stories, and one of his stories was that when he went to visit President Jimmy Carter with Crosby, Stills, and Nash, I believe.
I think you told this story before. I remember this. Yeah.
He's like, I brought like the tiniest joint, like a single puff joint, and I went over to the window of the Oval Office and stood like this and like lit it, did an like tiny inhale, vaporized the whole thing, and just held it until there was nothing left, just so I could say I did it.
Yeah, well, weed back then probably wouldn't give you the immediate panic attack that being high in front of a bunch of government officials immediately afterward would give you today.
Also, I believe Jimmy Carter's son would like routinely take people onto the roof of the White House to smoke weed.
There you go. Well, now Joe Biden's son is taking people onto the roof of the White House to do cocaine.
He's driving 200 miles an hour
while
smoking crack.
Yeah.
Honestly though, this cocaine, it could have been anyone's cocaine because it was found in a cubby where people store their things during visits, and you visit DC, there's a lot to see.
You take your coat off, there's a couple of grams of cocaine.
You want the experience to burn brighter when you're visiting all of the hot national monument spots, and so you
do a couple of nose beers.
But yeah, I mean, like, this could have been anyone. Cocaine, as you might imagine, it's prolific in Washington, D.C., especially when it comes to middle-aged white men.
And politicians.
Basically the type of person who didn't have a real youthful life because they're weird little freaks who wanted to get into politics from the age of 5. And now they're reliving the glory days they never got to have.
Yep.
But yeah, obviously people immediately thought that this must have been Hunter Biden's cocaine. Gosh. But that was quickly refuted by the common knowledge that Hunter prefers to smoke crack.
He doesn't do cocaine.
He doesn't do cocaine. He likes smoking crack. It hits faster and it's cheaper.
Yes,
you can get higher for longer.
There's hundreds of photos of him smoking crack cocaine.
He likes smoking crack, and he likes driving 170 miles per hour while doing so.
Yeah.
Which, obviously, that's extremely fucked up and dangerous.
Yeah,
but can you imagine how cool that felt?
Definitely don't do that.
No.
You're putting other people's lives at risk.
I did
But
see...
out of all the headlines that the president's son could be making, smoking crack and driving 170 in a Porsche is unbelievable.
My understanding is that despite the headlines, he was not doing both things at the same time, or at least not according to whatever new Hunter drop there was.
Yeah.
There was more pictures of him smoking crack, and then there was a picture of him driving with the speedometer like 170. Okay. I mean, there's a good chance he probably was high on crack at the time, but those are the facts.
That's right.
So anyway, the Bidens were not even home. The cocaine was found in a highly trafficked area, and everyone in D.C. does coke. So it's going to be impossible to figure out whose cocaine it was unless they come back and start asking for it.
Hey, did anyone find a baggie around here? No reason. Missing something, though, and I'm heading to a party right now, and people are going to be really upset if I show up empty-handed. So, please, Mr. Secret Service man. By the way, the Secret Service found this, and they've had a long reported history of it might be your own people.
The drugs are coming from inside the White House.
Even the Obama Secret Service guys were down partying in Mexico while they were supposed to be guarding him.
Yeah.
Oh, anyways, we do have more news for you, including the head of Warner Brothers finding out exactly what the Streisand effect is. But first, let's thank today's sponsors for keeping these lights on, starting with Mint Mobile. After years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch. So when you hear that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month, you think, what's the catch? Hey, but after using it, it all makes sense. There isn't one. Mint Mobile's secret sauce is that they're the first company to sell wireless service online only. They cut out the cost of retail stores and pass those sweet, sweet savings directly to you. While I popped in a SIM card on my trip to New York, I could not tell the difference between the providers. I had fast, consistent service everywhere I went, especially when it counted most. During a torrential downpour at the hot dog eating contest. I needed to find a way out of there fast.
Yeah. For anyone who hates their phone bill, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. Mint Mobile gives you the best rate whether you're buying for one or for the family. And at Mint, families start at just 2 lines. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/newsdump. That is mintmobile.com/newsdump. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/newsdump.
This episode is also sponsored by Bird Dogs. Bird Dogs make you look good. Their stretch khaki shorts are designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and leg, giving you a truly sculpted look. Bird Dogs fit way better than regular shorts made of stiff, restricting cotton, and their shorts look just like khaki, but thanks to their cloud knit fabric, you get plenty of stretch, so you get a slimmer fit without having to sacrifice movement. Bird Dogs also uses anti-stink sweat-wicking fabric that keeps you cool and dry all day long. I've got my camo Bird Dogs on right
look
now.
At that stretch.
Yeah. And I've been wearing them all day. I've done multiple walks around the neighborhood. I've done a lot.
You don't even stink.
Yeah, that's right. Not only are they comfy as hell, Elliot hasn't complained about my stench once.
That stench has been wicked. So go to birddogs.com/newsdump or enter promo code newsdump for a free Yeti-style tumbler with your order. That is birddogs.com/newsdump or promo code newsdump for a free Yeti-style tumbler. You won't want to take your bird dogs off. We promise you.
The bird dogs stay on.
The bird dogs stay on. birddogs.com/newsdump.
All right, now back to the news, and it's been an obvious theme for a while now that CEOs are starting to express concern regarding how they're viewed by the public, which means they probably aren't very good at their jobs because being an executive at a large corporation usually means you're a complete sociopath.
Yeah.
And that may still be true, but at some point the cracks start to show. And rather than taking a moment to examine the very justifiable reasons that you are failing or that people are showing a growing disdain for you as a leader and a person, they instead try to insist that not only is everyone else wrong, but they'll try to go after and censor anyone who attempts to badmouth them. And this is already blatantly obvious for people like Elon Musk, but a new challenger appears. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav, aka the guy who, by his own hand, has positioned himself as the main villain in the entertainment industry. That guy is very upset that people dislike him and has allegedly instructed major outlets to censor their reporting of him, which of course caused that original reporting to receive far more reads than it would have if he had simply done nothing at all, with the added bonus of everyone seeing how far he'll go to protect his image.
Yeah, it's not like David Zaslav's reputation was so good until this lone article came along. He got booed giving a commencement speech.
Yes.
He is literally the face of everything that the Writers Guild and Screen Actors Guild are protesting against. I don't think this one article would have made a difference, but now
And not that
I really want to read it now that he hates it so much.
Not that he was a nobody before, but he has done so much damage to his reputation and brought his name directly into the limelight in just the past year. It's astonishing.
Yeah.
Just bad decision after bad decision. Culminating in everyone hating him for his everyone in Hollywood hating him, people that weren't even affected by his decisions up until this point, hating him for what he did to Turner Classic Movies.
Yeah.
Or is planning to still do. So, yeah.
So a recent article in GQ, Gentleman's Quarterly, written by film critic Jason Bailey, was critical of Zaslav's leadership. But once Zaslav caught wind of the story, instead of simply ignoring it and watching as it left the news cycle within hours, his camp contacted GQ. That conversation resulted in drastic changes to the article, causing the author to demand his name be removed from the byline, before GQ eventually just removed the article from its site entirely. The resulting censorship resulted in the original article getting far more traction than it would have ever received otherwise, thanks to archive.org. A perfect representation of the Streisand effect in action. You can't just remove something from the internet. It's usually out there somewhere. So with more on all this, here's the Washington Post. In an unusual step, GQ magazine removed an article critical of powerful media executive David Zaslav from its website just hours after it was published Monday, following a complaint from Zaslav's camp. The story, by freelance film critic Jason Bailey, excoriated the CEO of Warner Bros. Discovery for his handling of the company's entertainment properties, specifically perceived crimes against film, such as the layoffs at the Turner Classic Movies channel that outraged prominent directors and other superfans, and his decision to not release finished movies, such as Batgirl, for tax purposes. At one point, Bailey compared Zaslav to tyrannical Succession patriarch Logan Roy. In a relatively short period of time, David Zaslav has become perhaps the most hated man in Hollywood, Bailey wrote. He wishes he was Logan Roy.
The reporting continues. A Zaslav spokesman complained to GQ about the story soon after it was published, according to people close to the process who spoke on the condition of anonymity to preserve confidences. By early afternoon on Monday, the magazine had made extensive edits to the story. Archived versions of the original and edited versions of the article show significant changes that had the effect of softening its tone. A line calling Zaslav the most hated man in Hollywood was deleted. The Succession comparison was removed, as was a segment where Bailey called the reality shows that Zaslav oversaw while running Discovery reality slop.
It's literally slop.
Yeah. The final paragraphs of the original article compared Zaslav to the pitiless businessman played by Richard Gere in Pretty Woman, with Bailey writing that the executive is only good at breaking things. The ending of the edited article was much kinder to Zaslav, removing the Pretty Woman reference and simply noting that film aficionados' complaints have gotten personal.
So GQ claimed that it had not properly edited the article before it went live, and that Warner Bros. Complained that they hadn't been contacted for comment before publishing, and claimed that there were numerous inaccuracies in the piece. For his part, the author confirmed that he did not ask Warner Bros. Discovery for comment for the article, but he disputed the idea that the piece contained numerous inaccuracies. Bailey said his editors at GQ never told him the piece was inaccurate, and the edited version of the article did not contain a correction. Quote, I think a side-by-side comparison of the piece before and after GQ's internal edits reveals exactly what WBD wanted changed, and that GQ was happy to do so, Bailey wrote in an email to the Post. It should also be mentioned that GQ also falls within the massive Warner Bros. Discovery umbrella. It's owned by Condé Nast, which is owned by a publishing company that is a major shareholder in WBD. In addition to that, as Variety points out, GQ editor-in-chief Will Welch is producing a movie at Warner Brothers titled The Great Chinese Art Heist, which is based on a 2018 GQ article by Alex W. Palmer. John M. Chu, Crazy Rich Asians, is attached to direct and produce the film, which chronicles an audacious European museum crime wave that targeted Chinese antiquities. Weird that the guy personally invested in being on good terms with a certain movie studio because he's producing a movie for that studio, a studio
based on an article from the magazine.
A studio known to completely just shelve projects, even if they're completely done, might want to, oh, we're publishing what today? Hold on just a second.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the effect in the end, probably wouldn't have read that article otherwise.
Yeah. But let's move over to politics now, because we have an update on Large Marge.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Marjorie Titan Greene?
Remember 100 years ago when Marjorie Taylor Greene called Lauren Boebert a little bitch on the house
Bitch!
On the House floor?
You little bitch!
You little bitch! Well, it seems like out of all of the terrible shit she's done or said over the past few years, from regurgitating QAnon garbage to claiming that Jewish space lasers are responsible for wildfires, to cheating on her husband with a Zangief cosplayer, to her involvement in the 2020 stolen election narrative, and so on and so forth, calling Lauren Boebert a bitch was a step too far, and as a result, Marge has been kicked out of the House Freedom Caucus.
It seems like the Freedom Caucus would be the last place you get kicked out for, exercising your First Amendment right to call someone else a bitch.
Here's Politico. The House Freedom Caucus voted to remove Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene from the pro-Trump group last month, a member confirmed Thursday, indicating that her fight with Representative Lauren Boebert was part of the group's reasoning. Quote, a vote was taken to remove Marjorie Taylor Greene from the House Freedom Caucus for some of the things she's done, said Freedom Caucus board member Representative Andy Harris, a Republican from Maryland. When asked if she was formally out, he replied, as far as I know, that is the way it is.
The reporting continues, adding that it's the first public confirmation of Greene's fate within the conservative group. The vote was first reported by Politico, though it was unclear at the time whether she had been ejected. It took place less than 2 days after Greene got into a verbal floor fight with Freedom Caucus member Boebert, during which Greene referred to the Colorado Republican as a little bitch. After the exchange was first reported, Greene confirmed the fight and doubled down, adding another pejorative. I think the way she referred to a fellow member was probably not the way we expect our members to refer to other fellow, especially female, members, Harris said Thursday. The Maryland Republican declined to say how he voted, but called the decision to remove her an appropriate action. It's the first time the Conservative Caucus has booted one of its own and reflects the group's increasing level of frustration with Greene. So, love to watch these people fight.
Yeah.
Let them fight. It's been a solid few months of infighting between the worst that America has to offer, from our tech billionaires to our far-right politicians.
And pundits.
And everyone's in a weird power struggle that is crumbling everything they've tried to build. And it's beautiful, and we love it.
Yeah. Been quite a few months. Trump indicted for the second time.
Indicated.
I have been indicated!
I did everything right, and they indicted me!
Tucker Carlson's views rapidly declining.
Oh, yeah. Even with Twitter's bullshit, definition of what a view is. Yeah, I saw someone screenshotted just every one of his. I guess he's published 10 episodes of his show.
Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah, no one cares. The view count has dropped precipitously. And it's Twitter isn't the fucking TV.
Nope. Whew. So, let's keep the good times rolling, and we'll be back with some weird news coming up for you. But in the meantime, make some fireworks of your own and make us feel real good about it by clicking that like button. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then be sure to watch our latest video, Tech News Day, about the details of just how badly Twitter ruined itself just one short week ago before Zuckerberg, of all people, was able to pounce on its corpse.
A real bungle.
Yeah. Subscribe for more, and we will see you soon for Weekly Weird News.
Bye-bye.